Here we go, time to light things up a little bit. I'm going to install this 40-inch light bar from nextechindustries.ca on the old Ford here. This thing needs some serious light. Now these are meant for off-road use only, but I'm going to be honest with you, when we were driving to Gaspé, Quebec, we were in the middle of nowhere, big moose hazard kind of area. I really wish we had these. We were doing it in the middle of the night. We didn't come across a car for hundreds of miles. I would use it. You shouldn't. That's my disclaimer. Now this is the 40-inch light bar, like I said, off a Keeley's Ranger. I'm going to put it on here. Looks like it's going to be a pretty easy install. This puts out about 21,600 lumens. It's 40 inches long. It's got 16 euro and 8 spotlights in it. It's about 240 watts, and I mean, this thing is a monster light. This thing lights up a baseball field, a football field, the back 40 field, no problem. If you want a smaller light bar, you can get this one here. It's 20.5 inches long, puts out 10,800, 10,600 lumens, and of course, he has all kinds of different sizes. You can check out my Razor video. We installed a small light bar, 11 inches in the middle, and 2 smaller ones on the sides, kind of pointed out in opposite directions. Works really well. But I'm going to install this today. Comes with the wire harness that I need. It's got a little toggle switch on it. It's got the relay, and it's got a circuit breaker or a fuse, inline fuse in it. One thing you're going to have to do, because this truck is such a massive beast, I love it so much, it's a pretty long way. It's a pretty long haul between the battery and the light itself, because it's a crew cab. You're going to want to extend, or you're going to have to extend your power cable, but keep in mind you always want to use at least a wire gauge that's as thick or a little bit thicker than what this comes with. If not, you're going to heat things up, maybe start a fire. The whole kit comes with everything you're going to need to install it. It's got the brackets, these little L-shaped brackets here, and you know what, it's going to go up on top here. Some of you might think that a lot of the light's going to get sucked up by the roof of the truck, but that's not a bad thing. I'd rather have that light shining out, I don't know, 100 yards, 50 yards in front of the truck anyway. I don't want it lighting up right in front of me right here. And it's going to do a good job. And just looking at this angle, the light's going to be plenty high. So I've mounted these brackets on the side, and I'm just going to get a measurement. It's not too bad. That's it. That's where the light's going to go. Now, I'm going to use my handy punch. Find the middle of this. Now I have some drilling to do. I'm drilling this hole a little big. It's not going to really matter too much. I don't mind a little bit of playing it when I'm actually mounting it. Now this light does come with a mounting kit, and it's got bolts in it, but they're not long enough to go through this 2 or 2.5 inch piece of aluminum tubing that we have, so I just got my own. They can't anticipate every installation, and sometimes, you know, most of the time, you know, we don't need as much wire as they send, but in this application, we need lots of wire. The old lights on this Ford, everybody knows it. They don't work very well. Horrible. So this is going to be a big improvement. I definitely won't use them around here, but in the back country, going into my camp on the dirt roads, I definitely will use them in there. These were great on the Ranger when we went into my camp at night. It'd be great for moose hunting, pulling that moose out of the bush in your, on your UTV or your ATV if you get it on there. I don't know if you'd want that on your ATV. A dual battery setup is great. I've got 2 batteries in this truck, 2 massive batteries. So they're gonna work well. And you do not look directly into this light. I am telling you, she's bright. Believe me. I'm just gonna angle it a little up. I see it's a little low right here right now. It's gonna be nice. How's that looking? That looks good right there. Anybody running off-road events with their UTVs or their trucks, rally cars? This is the light you want to use. This uses a single row of Cree lights. They're 10 watts each. And it puts out a tremendous amount of light. It's got a massive heat sink on it to get rid of all that heat that builds up. But you know what? Even after I've had this on for a long time, put my hand on there, it's not that warm. Now it's time to wire this baby up. This is actually pretty simple. They've made this very convenient for me. There's a grommet in the back of the cab. Work out very easy. Batteries right here. There's easy access in through the firewall. There's already an older kind of wire on there that somebody put something on. I don't know what it is. So these are my battery connections right here. What I'm going to do is, I know how much room I have. This will end up staying in here. Yeah, how do I get that through that grommet? I guess I can just pop that out. And that is where it's going to come through. I've just taken this little firewall grommet. I put another grommet in it, and that's what I'm going to run my wire through, so it's nice and sealed. We don't get any fumes from the motor or any wind coming through there. It's going to look pretty good. Perfect. I just have to mount this through the firewall. We're good to go. There's a big giant hole there now, so I have all kinds of room to pass my toggle switch and the rest of the wiring through. I'm going to take off this back panel here. Pretty easy to do. There are just a few little plastic clips holding it on. And I found this little grommet in the back here that Ford put in, and it works great. So I've run the wiring off the light itself. It's coming right through here. It's perfect. Right on. Now, one thing you're going to want to do is put this grommet into place before you solder these wires up. I suggest soldering them with a heat shrink as well. Nothing beats a good old solder. You know, they have some crimping type that work well, but for something that's passing this kind of power through it, you want to do it right. There we go. Now I'm not going to set this into place until we're done soldering up our wires. I'd show you soldering this, but it's going to take 2 guys. It's going to take 4 hands. So through the magic television or camera or internet or YouTube, this will be done. Now it's just time to close this up. I'm going to run a loom over it so it's all nice and protected. There we go. Put my grommet in there. This loom is pretty handy. Protects the wire from chafing, wearing through and rubbing on things. I use this on everything. Well, I use it on all the wire that I play with. Now there are a couple handy holes drilled into the fender, inside fender here, so it's going to be really handy for me. And I never tighten those up until I know that I'm exactly where I want it to be. Nothing worse than coming up short. Hey, Jamie. Go. Cut that off so I don't take my eye out. A little more tension on that one. Get the slack out of there. There we go. Right on. Let's just see. Everything's plugged in. So we do have power. I'm just going to complete the loom in the rest of the truck. We can wrap this up. There's just a piece of insulation in here that we want to get back in place. Oh yeah, look at that. And I'm going to mount this relay onto my brake pedal. Just kidding. But the good thing about this is that we have the fuse nice and close to the battery, and that's what you want. If anything, any of those wires get marred up or chafed or whatever between the battery and the light, that way we're not going to catch on fire. That's bad. Fire's bad. So to tidy this up a little bit, I'm going to run it down the inside of this tube here. I'm still going to use this loom because it's going to be bouncing around in there. I don't like that. I'll stuff this in and then I'll draw it through. It's not going to be that hard at all. Just use a little bit of a chase. This light is actually a little bit of an afterthought. I didn't know I was going to be doing this when I built this bar. There. There we go. Just like I planned it. Sweet. If you ever have a problem getting one of these grommets in, use a little bit of soap and water. There you go. Just going to mount that switch and we're done. After I put this back together, of course. Alright, now it's time to mount that switch. Oh yeah, no problem. I think I'm going to do it right down here beside my little tuner switch. I'm going to deburr that hole with this little deburring tool. Thing works awesome. There you go. There are lots of wires in this truck. This truck has been around the block. Lots of stuff attached to it. This Ford's finally going to have some lights for playing in the backwoods. I keep getting emails and messages and comments left on Facebook and YouTube and my website. When are you going to do some more mods on the truck? There's always something going on here. Just takes a little bit of time is all. Now it's just time to hook this beast up. And I gotta wait till it's dark to do some testing. That's gonna come in a later video. But for now, I just want to show you guys this light and how you install it. Pretty easy. And it looks good. Looks monstrous. So make sure you go to nextechindustries.ca, give them a call, talk to Kurt, tell them Louis from PowerModz sent you. Look at all their lights. They've got all kinds of different styles of lights for tractors and ATVs and UTVs. My buddies have been buying them there for their ATVs. They love them. They do a lot of night trails, night trail riding. And Kurt will set you up. It's just the kind of guy he is. Nextech also builds that awesome skid I have on my snowmobile, that lightweight custom skid. Carbon fiber, lightest one on the market. And it is awesome. It's all about quality. And those guys don't mess around. You know, these aren't some cheap light blown in from China. Little 2-watt bulbs on it that don't last very long and all the water gets in behind. You can pick these LED lights up, or not these ones, but LED lights really cheap. When it comes to these things, you get what you pay for. But if you want something that's going to last a long time, be very rugged. I rolled my razor onto mine, bent them and twisted them in a little bit on the mounting brackets, but didn't do any damage. There you go. Here we go. Mind your eyes. Oh boy. That is insane. Look at that. Actually, you know what? That is... We got to come try this at night. I got to thank you guys for watching. Make sure you come back. I have more videos coming out. You can do some more work to the truck, more work on the razor. Got some pretty cool stuff coming up. Thanks for watching. Right on, Jamie. Get that hammer off of there so it doesn't fall on somebody's face. Make it impossible to find me. Go on and believe it's nothing at all. Aren't you sick of promises that I break?